Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Crit It and Hit It. This is a live stream D&D game run by 5 nerds. 4 of them present today. Laura is away on holiday playing 4th edition. I'm kidding. 4th edition is a fine edition of the game. And
no, 4th edition's the horrible one where it's like strategy and stuff, isn't it?
I know lots of people are down on 4th edition. find myself enjoying it more and more the more I read up on it. I only played it once, so I can't say that I've got a strong opinion on it. Anyway, with me, as usual, are Kerry, Daniel, and Abby, in that order. So, everyone, would you mind introducing yourselves and your characters?
I'm Kerry from Tabletop Crafter. I'm playing Amy, the human paladin.
I'm Abby from Trade and Tested, and I am playing Anakis, the Tiefling Druid, and pets were unlooking.
I'm Daniel from Detailer Woodworking, and I'm playing Airden, the elven blood hunter. And I think I've got a little worm in a jar or something.
Yeah.
Is that my familiar?
It is now. So yes, quick recap will occur after the Bard's Tale, which I believe is being read today by Kerry.
Yeah. Okay. We were told this tale during paladin training back in the temple. This is the story of the sun and the wind. For many years, the wind had teased the sun, boasting that he was far superior, but the sun would turn a blind eye and dismiss the taunts. Then, one day, a traveller was passing by. The wind came to the sun and said, "I have a challenge for you, my friend. Let's finally decide who is the most powerful once and for all. Whoever can cause that traveller to remove his cloak will be named the winner," he said with a grin. "I will go first." The sun moved away behind a cloud, and the wind began to blow and blow as hard as he could upon the traveller. But the harder he blew, the closer the traveller wrapped his cloak. Eventually, the wind gave up in despair and stepped aside to let the sun have his turn. The sun sighed, and with a smile, he radiated his warmth down to the traveller, gently raising the temperature. The traveller, seeing the wind had passed, shrugged off his cloak, flung it over his shoulder, and continued to walk with a skip in his step. The sun turned to the wind. "Kindness is always the way, friend."
I feel like that's very on brand for Amy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So to recap the events of last session.
Yeah, muted. Drew.
Does Drew know he's muted?
Drew does not know he's muted.
Hi, welcome back to the stream, Drew.
Me too, I was muted too. I was there going, Drew!
Thank you for that Bard's Tale, Kerry. Moving on to the recap of the episode. So the recap will be just of the last session. If you want to find out how we got there, go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. Last session, Airden, Anakis, Amy, and Eden, you all had Xander with you when you returned to your camp. Anakis bumped into her brother and sister, two wood elves, and...
Drew?
Yes? Yeah? Hello?
I've been gone.
Is anyone else cutting out? Sorry.
You are.
Am I still there?
Yeah, we're all fine.
Yes.
Is anyone else?
Everyone else
I think
seems
it's
to
me.
be fine.
Sorry. I can't hear a thing.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what to do there.
No, I think it's my end. Sorry, I've completely interrupted.
It's all right. You said Drew, and you got my attention, and then there was nothing afterwards.
Well,
I'm going to continue.
interrupted that. I think.
So.
No, I think I may have to leave and come back.
Okay. While Abby sorts that out, I shall carry on with the recap. So we'll see you in a bit, Abby. So Anakis had her... that's rearranged everyone on my screen. I will sort that when she gets back. So ignore the fact that it says Amy underneath Daniel. So Anakis's brother and sister turned up in her tent and told her that while robbing a guy, they were robbed, and that she should come and help them. So she gathered her friends, went to a farm, and you guys had a fight with a doppelganger that had bound and gagged Ralfred and Isabella, the gnomes that you'd run into on your way to the citadel in the first place. You recovered them and their items. You found that the doppelganger was working for someone who we don't know. And while working that out, it seems that the doppelganger was full of little wormy parasite things, one of which infected Xander, which put him out for the count. To try and cure him, Eden and Amy managed to get the party to Tharansari using Anakis's new power of using the Druid leyline portals. Got to Tharansari, Eden managed to find a cure after a lot of wandering around and finding the right person, which she knew who to go for, but she had to work out which kind of parasite it was, and it was a whole to-do. But they managed to cure him, and then he was possessed by an angel, who we found out was married to Amy somehow, and that there is a plot by Begazul the demon to marry Amy, and that will somehow grant him power. Meanwhile, there is still an elven army moving north. It is likely to mess a whole bunch of things up. And Airden was working his way into the city, being escorted by Eden.
Yes.
Yes. While Amy and Anakis are outside with Xander / Cheniel, the angel that is now possessing Xander.
So wait, how many people are inside Xander? There's Xander, Cheniel, and Begazul as well?
Devil's threesome.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't know. We don't actually know what he is, though, do we? Like, we in character don't know that
He's possessed by 3 people.
Well, no,
3 demons.
Yeah, we don't know if it's a demon, an angel, a god.
True.
You said angel, Drew, but I guess we don't know it's an angel.
That's likely. So let's begin the session by starting with Airden and Eden. Eden gets you through the front gate. You get given the side eye from the guards. They recognize you. Mm-hmm. But being escorted by Eden, they allow you through the gates. Eden is very quickly spotted by a few dignitaries, a few people in very fancy dress, and she makes a quick excuse to you and says that she'll meet up with you soon, and takes her leave. She goes off with this crowd of people all dressed in finery. Looking around, you see that this is a city of finery. There is not a speck of dirt anywhere. A bright white with very tan wood beams. There doesn't seem to be an inch of darkness anywhere. Everything is just bright and light and flowery. There are hanging baskets of flowers. There are a great number of people wandering around in very fine gowns, very clean-cut suits, nothing like what you're wearing.
Okay, nothing like I'm wearing. I feel like Airden, what he's wearing started off very, very nice.
Everyone seems to be dressed to go to a party rather than for anything practical.
I see, okay. I'll be honest, part of wanting in this city was just because Airden had been told no, so he just, like a toddler, he just wanted to make sure he could get in. But yeah, it's very important to Airden that he's looking good, kind of while he's, adventuring. And his clothes have been through a lot recently. Can I look about for anything, is it obvious where the source of everyone's nice clothes is? Like, is there a massive, big, tailor shop or something?
You see that there are no signs anywhere. This is a city without signposts. It seems that everyone who wants to find a place needs to know the place.
Oh, okay.
You can start asking people if you want to try and gather some information.
Is there any younger looking people?
Give me a perception check, please.
Okay. Right, sorry, this is going to be a bit complicated this week because I don't have dice or my character sheet, so I'm using both digitally. Well, that's a critical one, so...
You look around and you see someone who looks like they might be part of the constabulary, so as you approach, he looks you up and down, pushes his way to the other side of the street, and carries on moving as you get closer until he gets to a doorway and quickly absconds within. You then feel a slight tug at your waist, and then you see a couple of very small people, perhaps children or halflings, running into a wall.
Okay. What, they went into a wall and they disappear?
It seems so.
Okay. I'll try and do the same.
This is some dodgy Harry Potter shit.
Yeah.
Platform 9 3/4, here we go.
I've got to believe enough.
You run towards the wall and you hit brick. It is this bright white wall. It seems to be a solid construction. How they got through, you don't know. You just saw them run into the wall, swivel slightly, and then they just disappeared. We'll pause Airden there for a moment. Amy and Anakis, you guys are outside with Xander. He is speaking with a strange voice. There's an echo to it, as if there's multiple people speaking inside of his throat. His eyes are glowing blue, and he has identified himself as Cheniel.
So we're picking up from what he last said?
Yes, we'll pick up from what he last said. We'll assume that you guys have just been sort of dumbstruck for a few seconds.
Okay. I'm sorry, what?
We are married.
I think you might have. I'm really sorry. I think you might have the wrong person. Amy is quite a common name, especially among humans. So yeah.
Perhaps I have been misinformed. He closes his eyes, opens them again, and his eyes glow brighter. It is you. I can see you. At that, his eyes close again, and he doubles over in pain. His hand stretches out, grasps a handful of sod, and rips it up along with the grass. And as he releases it... what is happening?
Just 1 minute. Anarchist, but just...
I'm sorry, I'm not really aware of what's going on. I'm just still playing with pianos. Yeah?
But did you listen to that or no?
What? No. What are you talking about?
Alright. Cool. Never mind.
What happened? What?
It's fine. I'll explain later. Xander, how are you feeling? You alright? You phased out a little bit again there, but you're alright.
I feel very hungry and weak. At this, you notice the trickle of blood coming out of his nose, dripping to his chin.
Well, Can I like root around in my pack and do I have some rations or something? I'll pass them to him.
He grabs them and starts wolfing them down greedily, stopping partway through. His eyes glow blue again. It seems that I have misjudged. This host is weak. I do not think that he can handle me within him. I will leave.
Okay. Are you coming? What do you mean you're gonna leave? Are you coming back?
We will speak soon. He closes his eyes, clenches, and then his eyes open and they're still glowing blue.
Right.
I can't leave.
I don't understand what he's doing. What the hell's going on?
A shrug.
I just sort of walk up to him and I sort of go like this on his cheek. Come on, man. What are you doing?
I appear to be trapped. I think that I may kill this host if I remain much longer.
Huh? What?
How did you get in? Maybe you get in the same way you get out the same way you got in.
Exit through this door here.
I'm not entirely sure. Allow me to try. He closes his eyes again. A bright light emanates from around him. You can't quite identify the source, but he isn't glowing. It's just everything around him gets brighter. You start to hear this high-pitched whining sound, and then the sound and the light disappear. It takes a moment for the animals to settle down, but while that was going on, all of them stopped and stared. When the sound stops, the birds especially get incredibly loud, start cawing and flying away. The snakes begin to uncoil themselves and slither away. And as they do, one of the squirrels whispers something to Nutkin. And he looks up at you, just gives you a shrug.
What? I don't understand. Would I recognise this?
Yes, potentially. Give me a religion or an arcana ability check.
Both are the same. Come on. New dice, come on. Oh, well, that was okay. 15.
What are you picking, religion or arcana?
Both are the same. Arcana.
Arcana.
Yeah.
So, you recognise that what was attempted was some kind of magical exit, rather than the typical way that beings might possess another body. Usually it's a psychic kind of connection. It seems that this is an actual possession, like some extra-dimensional being is physically inside this body. He just tried to cast some sort of spell to extricate himself and was unable to do so.
Can I roll again for a religion?
Yes.
Come on, baby. Oh, it's 14, 15, another 15.
There are rare instances where a possession goes badly. Usually it's a demon possessing someone, and they're just not able to exit whenever the situation would warrant it. What would normally happen is you would have an exorcism. You would have some priest or some holy dignitary perform a ritual, and that would get the offending creature out.
Okay. Do I know if of Cheniel from anything? I'm still talking Welsh.
The name Cheniel
have I heard the name before, or
it'll
studied it?
seem very angelic. It'll ring bells as, oh, that'll be something to do with the Celestials. But there's no written deeds about a Cheniel exactly.
Okay.
Not that you've come across.
All right. Okay. I just sort of tap Amy and was like, and say, what on earth was that about? Who was?
No idea. But,
That wasn't Xander, was it?
no. I mean, I think it's still not Xander. I kind of like say quietly, like, I still think it's not him.
The eyes
I
are still
think
glowing blue, and the blood is now starting to pour from his nose.
Oh, God. Do you have
He's definitely an angel. I'm going to perform cure wounds, but he's probably not. Is no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to watch and study.
I'll watch and study. That's fine. Okay, I'll step up a bit closer now. Can I help you? I mean, I'm no cleric, but maybe I could help.
His eyes dart to yours and lock in. A cleric, yes. A priest of some kind. We need a priest.
We need him. God damn it, Simon. Okay. I look back over my shoulder at, I guess, the walls or something of the city. Well, it looks like that's the closest place. Just this might help a little bit, and then I'll put my hand sort of gently against his cheek, and pump in some lay on hands into them.
Okay. How many are you pumping in?
Let's go 5 to start with.
Okay. So that's 5 points. You can see that the blood flow has slowed, but there are bruises starting to appear on his body. It seems that whatever's happening to him, it's damaging Xander a lot.
Okay. Anakis, I think we need to help him get to a cleric.
I was muted. I'm sorry. I was there trying to talk. What do you mean? But I'm not a cleric. I'm a bloody druid. I'm from the woods. I don't know much. What do you want to go into the city? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe we can. Maybe we'll need to try. Yeah.
But Eden told us not to go.
I mean, Xander might die, and it's either wait for Airden and Eden to come back and go somewhere else, or try get in now because and then I look back at Xander. Yeah, I don't think he's doing so good.
Right. Okay. Can I'll just take him over my shoulder then, because I'm like 6 foot odd. I'm quite tall, actually. So I'm just going to take him over my shoulder and say, right, come on, let's go.
Carrying it properly.
I will carry it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
giving him a fireman's lift.
Okay,
Come on, let's go. Come on, boyo.
We go to the
Let's
city.
go. Come on.
Off you go. So as you guys are heading towards the gate, Airden.
Okay. I'll approach just a passerby, someone who maybe looks well dressed, and I'll just call out to them, like, "Oh, excuse me, there. I couldn't help but notice. Oh, such beautiful attire you're wearing." I must apologise for the state I'm dressed in. Obviously, I try not to look this bad normally, but it pales in comparison to what you're wearing. I'm new in town, and obviously wanting to get out of these horrible clothes. Could you point me in the right direction?
Give me a persuasion check. Make it with advantage. That was good banter.
Okay. Oh, second one was 20. Do I add anything onto that?
Yep. You would add your.
Oh, I don't add
charisma.
anything on for persuasion. No. So yeah, just 20. Not 20.
Do you not have a bonus to charisma?
No. I'm very dexterous, and dexterous is anything, but no, I get 0 added on for charisma.
Makes sense, really.
Yeah. I think Airden thinks he has lots of charisma, but
He's just a mangy. Meh. Beep.
Okay. This person looks you up and down, and they reach out a tentative hand and put it on your shoulder. I can see you've been through quite an ordeal. I will take you to my personal tailor.
Ah, my good man, thank you. I knew someone as well dressed as yourself would feel sympathy for someone having to, so an elf having to wear clothes like this. And I'd look down at them as if like...
Yeah, so you do look rather sporting.
Yes, a good word for it. You're too kind.
Come with me. And he escorts you through the city, barely speaking to you, occasionally nodding to other passers-by. He takes you back towards the gates of the city, and just as you're passing them, you can hear them creak open again. He takes you around a corner and to another set of gates, this time an internal set to another bailey of the city. Taking you through that, you see that this is a part of the city that is even more lush and beautiful than the first. There is a running stream cascading down this stepped area of the town. Lots of very nice buildings, are all set apart from each other, detached houses spread apart, lots of gardens, and there's even wildlife flitting about here, lots of insects and birds flying about. He takes you to one of the houses that has gold gilding around the outside of the door archway. And it's written in Elven. You can see that it says that this is the family of... That's the wrong page. This is the family of Optun.
Okay.
When he...
Optun.
Optun.
Away, man, I'm going Optun.
I've written it as OPTUNN, but yes, it is either Scout or Scout, Scouse or Scott. I'm not quite sure which.
Right.
Regardless, he knocks on the door, and the door slides to the side. You are greeted by a young couple, and they bid you inside, offer you tea, and one of them immediately starts measuring you with a bit of measuring string.
Yes. Hey, where's the man who dropped me off, or who?
He's still there. He's entered and is enjoying a cup of tea and some sweet bread.
I apologise profusely to the people that own it and go, I disgrace this establishment with my attire. I apologise 1,000 times, but hopefully you can help me remedy this.
While the young man's measuring you with the tape, the woman of the couple sits down in a chair, waiting by her cup, which is quickly stirred and passed to her by another elf that just sort of scampers out from seemingly nowhere, hands her the cup, stirs it, and scampers away again. And she says, "Yes, you're right to apologise. Thank you very much." Meanwhile, Amy and Anakis. We're going to flip back and forth until we meet you guys up again. You guys approach the front gates.
I start.
Oops, sorry, you start. Oh.
Keep going, I think.
Okay.
Keep going. It's fine. Sorry.
You approach the gates. The guards initially hesitant to let you in. They ask what your purpose is.
I sort of huff and puff and I pant and I say, "This man is not well. We need a healer. Can you point it in the direction of someone, please?"
A cleric, please. A religious healer.
Absolutely. We know the best healers around. if you travel for about 4 or 5 days on foot northeast...
No, I'm sorry. He needs it now. Otherwise, he's going to die within the hour.
That is most
have
unfortunate.
4 or 5 days.
I do feel for your friend. It is unfortunate.
Right, okay.
Why are you not letting us enter?
This is the city of Theransari. Only those with credentials may enter.
Ooh. Somewhere Airden just like goes, yes.
Is there just one guard or 2?
There are 2 guards.
Can I... would I cast command?
Yes! I was there like, charm person?
I mean, yeah, charm person would also be very good.
But it only does 1.
Yeah, so maybe if the other one kicks the first.
Okay.
This one. Okay, so I'm going to cast command and... Ooh. I need 1 word.
Entry.
Well, that's not...
Permission.
It's not an instruction, though, is it? It needs to be like a doing word.
Move.
God, I should have thought this ahead of this.
Assist. Because you want them to assist with our...
Yeah, that could work.
Assist.
That's the best thing I can think of.
Allow.
Is it like you've got to pick from a list of words? Or
No, you can have anything, really.
Yeah, you can have anything. It gives you some suggestions, but like with a lot of the spells, you can have anything.
This reminds me of, did anyone play that game like about 20 years ago in school? It was an educational game, and you just typed in things. And it was like pop or run, and the little man. Maybe I'm like from my age or something. I don't know.
I remember text adventures,
Anyways,
and I remember
reminded me of
Mavis
that.
Beacon typing. It sounds like a combination of those.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
Maybe help is going to be the best. Or assist, yeah.
Help would probably suit the situation best as well, because that would be something that you could pass off as not you casting a spell. It is just a thing you're saying, like, help us.
Yeah, can I say us on the end of it, but help is the...
Yeah, help will be the verbal component, but help us can be what you say.
So I'm trying to... Because basically I generally try to work it into the sentence rather than it being... So, so I can play it off if they didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to cast command and say help, but I'll say help us.
One guard looks to the other. And then, while the guard that has been talking is looking to his friend, the other one's still standing there with a halberd in hand, not moving. He taps on the wall, and the doors creak open. The other guard, the one that wasn't talking, looks to his friend.
I go.
Oh, go on.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, you're running through.
Yeah, we're going. Go. Which way?
The guard that was talking, he directs you. He says, right, go through here, take a right, and you'll go through another gatehouse. You then take a left up the central passage. Then you'll see another smaller gatehouse. That'll take you to the central district. From there, you'll find the temple.
Okay, I go in that direction.
Thank you. We run before.
Run.
We kind of gather this all together.
So it was right, and then it was forward, and then it was left, and then
We
forward.
remembered it. It's fine.
Okay.
Carrying a now near unconscious Xander, who is starting to have... Go on.
Can I keep my hand on his back and just lay on hands into him as we go? So if I see that he's getting unconscious, if I see it's getting worse, I'll put my hand on him now and start pumping into him as much as I have to.
He is starting to have conversations with himself. He is speaking softly at times and angrily at others, but always quiet. But it seems that the two parts, Xander and Cheniel, are now fully aware of each other and able to communicate somehow.
Can I hear what they're saying?
You'll hear parts as you're running through the streets. They talk about how there's a lot of pain, the body is weak. You hear Xander's voice say to Cheniel, "Just get out of me, I want you out. What are you even doing here at all? This is a violation." Cheniel apologising, saying that you were the closest one that was useful to us, and it wasn't intended to last long at all. That's what you're managing to get from the conversation as you're winding your way through. When you get into the city, you see beauty, flowers, white buildings, the same description as applied when Laura and Daniel first entered. You pass through another set of large doors. You get to this area where there's stepped tiers and lots of buildings, running water, birds, bees, that sort of thing. And as you run up the central passage, you see a small set of double doors rather than a massive gatehouse set into another large wall separating out the districts of this city. Going through this door, which there seems to be no guards guarding it, you see that there's this massive white tower erupting out of the ground, growing like a tree. You see these vertical striations on it, as if it is in fact made of wood. There's a granular texture to the outside of it, but it's pristine white and even as well. While close up it's kind of bumpy. It's got this very even texture to it, as if it's been constructed. So you're not quite sure if it's grown or what. At the very top, you can see these spindly bits coming out of it, which may be branches, may just be bits of architecture. You're not quite sure. There's a door set into the front of it that's large and made of metal. Around the outside, there are houses set into the walls, and there is one in particular which is larger than the rest and has a symbol at the top. This is a symbol of a dewdrop reflecting the golden sun.
Is that my temple?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You race to the temple. It has no door. It seems to be little more than like a roof held up by pillars, essentially. But you do see that inside there is a priest.
Yeah, we go running in. Is there like some sort of little prayer I can do as I go through the doorway? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there will be. There'll be. Do you mean like a little?
Yeah,
cross
kind of
yeah.
like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes, there'll be something for your particular church. Do you want to decide what that is, or do you want? No, you just you do it.
Yeah.
As you do it, the person kneeling at an altar at the back gets up, sort of half turns his head, notices the gesture you're making. A fellow follower, I see.
Yeah. What would I call the clerics and stuff like? What kind of the term?
You'd call them brothers and sisters.
Like father or?
You call them all brothers and sisters. There's no patri or matronymic designations, so you're all just brothers and sisters in the faith.
Okay. Yes, brother. I require your help desperately. My friend is dying. He needs to be seen by a cleric.
Oh yes, I am trained in such arts. So bring him here.
A gesture for Anakis to bring in.
Just dump the body.
I just drop him on the floor.
All right. Okay, so you've dropped him down this cleric kneels down next to him, looks him over, and then he cracks his knuckles and spreads his hands out slowly over the body, and you see that there's this ripple effect coming from his hands, as if between his hands and Xander's body there is a great deal of heat. And as he's passing these hands over, he gets this furrowed brow. He stands up and takes the two of you aside. Your friend appears to be possessed.
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
It's by someone who calls himself Cheniel. Do you know the name?
Cheniel. I can't say I do. It's possibly a demon, possibly a celestial. I'm uncertain.
He's an angel.
Well, we don't know that technically, do we?
I do.
Yep.
Don't I?
Did you say it earlier? Oh yeah, you did. Sorry. What she said.
So.
At the minute, it's an angel.
It could potentially change. I say that under my breath.
Yeah.
As interesting as this situation may be, I can try something. How long has the angel been inside your friend?
How long has it been? Like,
did I get that knowledge? Oh, it's probably been about an hour.
Right. Okay. Not long. That's good. That's good. What's your friend's name?
Xander.
The body, yes.
Yeah.
Xander. All right. He kneels next to Xander, cradles his head in his arms. Xander, we're going to make you better. Excuse me. And then he puts his hand on Xander's head and then lowers it down. Xander's eyes close and he slumps unconscious. And he drags him closer to the altar.
Can I just kind of follow along closely? I'm like, what are you planning to do? How do you think you can get this out? Is it going to hurt him?
Hopefully not. No, but I'm going to try my level best to get this Cheniel out. There's a few things that I can try. Excuse me, I need concentration. He takes a leaf on the end of a stick that's been set in a small vase, tips it onto one of the candles where it sets fire to it, and then he snuffs it out and uses it as a sort of incense stick with a dry leaf on the end. And he starts waving it over Xander's body. You get this smell of honeysuckle wafting through the air. Meanwhile, Airden! You have been...
the excitement of being measured for clothes.
You have been measured, and then the young gentleman scurried away into another room while you were left here with the gentleman that brought you and the lady of the house. Both of them have been exchanging looks with each other, pleasant-looking ones, but nothing else. It's been silent. The only sound has been the occasional exclamation of frustration from a few rooms over, and there's also this wooden knocking sound that happens every stretch of time that starts to feel uncomfortable in the silence, so about a minute or so.
So have they finished measuring me now?
They've finished measuring you, yes. You're free to have a sit and a cup of tea and some bread.
I will do so. I'll just casually inquire as to, is somebody having trouble in the adjoining room? I hear frustrated sounds.
Both of the other people in the room shoot you a dirty look, and then the gentleman that brought you here puts his hand out and taps the side of the cup of the young lady, who then settles back into her seat and stares into the middle distance.
My apologies.
Her husband is making your clothes. It seems that it's providing him some difficulty with the materials he has on hand. I do apologize.
Oh.
I assumed that he had everything he needed, but I imagine that it'll be done soon.
Oh, no, of course. I apologize if I've contributed to this frustration somehow.
You haven't contributed at all. What was your name?
Airden Scepter. Pleased to meet you.
Airden Scepter? I recognize the name Scepter. Where are you from, Airden?
Swear under my breath. So this is a lovely establishment. I mean, how long has it been here? It's I haven't been to the city in a long time. I'm kind of nervous all of a sudden.
Indeed. The building itself is relatively new. I believe it's only about 300 years old. Such a new building has its quirks, still settling in, I think. But the young family here have made it a home. Speaking of which, I must return to mine. He looks over at the lady of the house, gives a courteous nod, stands up, gives you also a courteous nod, and then moves towards the door.
I stand and give him a very deep bow and say, "Thank you for your aid. I'm forever in your debt."
He stops, half turns to you. "I shall remember that, Airden Scepter." Continues.
Why did I use my real name?
Meanwhile, you are sat in silence with the lady of the house for an excruciating 10 minutes more. And then rushing into the room comes the gentleman of the house, Mr. Optun. He comes in with several garments folded over his arm. He's panting slightly. I am so sorry about all of this. It is ready for you.
No, it's fine. This is quite a pleasant place to sit and wait.
Isn't
let me see. Yes, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Here you are. He pops them down on a small footstool, and as he steps away, two more elves seemingly pop out of nowhere, pick up some of the clothes, and start to gesture to let them take off your clothes.
Oh, this is great. Airden's loving this. This is what he wishes every day could be like. None of this getting your foot stuck in some vines and getting covered in goo. Just getting people dressing you and sipping tea. It's amazing. Yeah, Airden just lets them do it all.
Awesome. So as they are getting you undressed, stripping you down to your skivvies, they start dressing you in this fine silk suit. It feels incredibly comfortable. You can feel that it's got extra padding in the joints. So even though it's only recently been stitched, you haven't got any straggly ends or anything to make you feel uncomfortable. The silk itself is sort of held up in arches on the arms and legs by some of this padding, so it doesn't brush against your skin all the time. So as you're moving your arms, you just get the occasional caress of silk from time to time. So you're constantly aware of how nice it feels rather than getting used to it. It's a deep sapphire blue. It's got this glittery silver effect to it, and you note that there's a sash that
These
goes around your waist.
The
sash that goes around the middle of the waist, which you're assured is the height of fashion at the moment, and the sash is a very dull silver colour.
Okay. Fan art artists take note. Right. I nod to the lady and And just like, yes, my compliments. This is excellent.
Will you be staying very long, or is that everything?
I think that may be everything. Now, how would you like to accept payment? I don't carry much money on myself. I could send for my manservant to bring more.
We don't accept payment. You simply have now one of our suits.
I see. Of course. I just pretend like I know, like that's like what she means.
Very well. If that's everything, I shall have one of them show you to the door. And she gives a dismissive wave and then turns to face a wall where you note that, unlike a lot of the other walls, there is no art. She is staring at a blank wall.
I'm really uneasy now. Okay, fine. I kind of give her a little bow and I let them lead me out the door. Do I still have my old things?
Yes. They haven't taken those things away.
Can I carry them with me just in case?
What's your passive perception?
It is, I think it's 14 off the top of my head.
Okay. While bundling up your things...
Yes, it is.
Excellent. While bundling up your things, you will notice that your sword is gone, along with its scabbard.
Okay. Kind of cough politely, like, excuse me, seeing my sword seems to have been removed. I'm not sure if you just put it somewhere for safekeeping. If you could
the lady
just
of the
show
house,
me where that is.
Just sips her tea. I'm terribly sorry, sir. You didn't have one on you when you entered our abode.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
If you would like to be directed towards a swordsmith, there is one to the east end of town, the more industrial area, but we don't keep that sort of thing around here.
Like Daniel to Drew, I did have my sword on me when I went in, right? Or was I pickpocketed? Like beforehand?
So, out of character,
Or
you were pickpocketed beforehand, but Airden will likely not have realised until now.
Yeah.
But we could also concede that Airden may have put two and two together at this point as well, and not attack some nice nobles that just gave him a free suit. Unless you want to.
No, that was my... No. Damn it. God damn it. Okay. That complicates things. All right. I don't know. I'll just leave. Before I leave, sorry to trouble you just once more, madam. It appears that I have been pickpocketed. I know it sounds so strange in a town as lovely as this, but could you? I'm new here. Could you point me in the right direction for getting this back? Do you know of any? Is this a thing that goes on? I did expect better of a city of elves, but there's always a few rotten apples.
There are, aren't there? The man of the house then takes you a bit aside, sort of like putting himself between you and her. I do apologise for this being your experience here in the city. Perhaps I could escort you to a member of the constabulary.
If that's my best option, then I'm sure I can find them myself, my good man. But thank you for your offer.
Yes, you're perfectly welcome. You'll find them wandering about from time to time, but they tend to stay out of the districts as much as they can. They'll patrol the border walls, and they'll also be near to the barracks. It's in the central quarter.
Okay, thank you again, and I'll do a little bow, and I'll leave.
The two servants escort you to the door. One of them opens it for you, sliding it to the side into a notch in the wall. The corridor that you came through was very narrow, in fact. And then as you see the blinding light of the sun outside, you just see people milling about, going about their day, as if no one has stolen anything.
Can I, before we do anything else, can I just check my inventory and just see what else I'm missing?
Yes. Yes, you can. While we are quickly checking that inventory, though, while I bring up the PDF and have a look, Amy and Anakis, the ritual concludes, and it did not work. There's a crestfallen look to the priest. I am terribly sorry. I can't fix him with what I have.
I put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Brother, that's okay. You did everything you could."
Oh, if he wasn't what he is, I'd be able to help more. It's just a shame, really.
Do you know anybody in the city that could possibly help?
If, and it's a strong if, but if he happened to be a relative of someone in town, then maybe. I suppose, given that you're not elves, I assume you will need to be told. We help our own here. Outsiders tend not to receive the help they need. Something like this did recently befall one of our own, a noble of a house some 50 years ago, not long. They did fall with the malady of being possessed, some simple fiend. It was no great effort to expel it from them. I simply alerted the authorities, and given who this person was, they very quickly procured the elements that I needed. But alas, I wouldn't know where to procure it myself. I very rarely make holy water.
Oh, you need holy water?
Yes.
I mean, I don't have... How do I not have holy water? Come on.
I do. Well, depending what's been taken from me.
Oh, okay, great, because Adam's gonna want to give us that, isn't he?
That's a good point.
I have a cutting of healing herbs, but that's about it.
How do you make healing water? Healing water. Holy water. Just like bless it. I don't know.
Well, healing... not healing. Holy water...
To some, I'm sure it's healing water.
With holy water, it's a complicated ritual. It takes about an hour to perform, but the ingredients are simple. You simply require an amount of water that you're wishing to bless, and you need some powdered silver.
Well, that I don't have.
Do you have any powdered silver here?
No, I don't have an awful lot of occasion to make or store holy water. It's sometimes used for special occasions, but it's hardly a common thing.
Well, turning to Anakis, I mean, Eden was able to get the cure for the worm. Maybe she has access to getting holy water, or Airden's an elf. I mean, now that he's going to want to help us, but he might help us get the holy water if it's the fact that we're not elves.
We can try, I suppose, for nothing, can't we? But if you don't know where they are,
can I say? Oh, sorry, Drew.
I was just going to ask Airden two things. One, what was your trinket?
I don't know if I ever decided. I think it's still in my character sheet, just as trinket of special significance. I never really gave much thought to it.
Without spending the effort to define exactly what it is, can it be something small bound to your belt that could also have been pilfered?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I'll make it that it's something quite of sentimental value to me from my past. I don't know exactly.
Two things that were stolen.
Right.
The other thing that I want to ask is, would you have made your way to the central area?
The what area?
The central district where you were told the cops were.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'll as soon as I hear where they are, I'll go and try and find them.
Brilliant. As Amy and Anakis are discussing this, Airden comes into view. He just walks through the doorway that leads to the central area, and since you guys are in a relatively open bit, you can see where he is as soon as he walks in.
Do we see him? I start shouting his name across the.
Oh God!
Waving and jumping up and down and like gesturing for him to come.
I pick up Xander again and put him over the shoulder, and I just say,
"Yeah, I mean, Anakis, you probably need to pick him up, but sure, that's fine. Airden, come quick! We need you to help, Airden."
I just kind of.
I'm like, if anyone's looking, I don't even care.
I'm looking amazing, and I'm among a city of elves, and then I see these two, like shouting after me. Like,
everyone stops and stares.
Oh God! I just look as if like they're looking over my shoulder.
I run out across the square, and like try to grab hold of Airden's hand and like, come on, we need to help Xander. Come on.
As she says, we need to help Xander. I start trying to move the other way.
Oi! I just shout, oi! Don't you dare!
Oh, okay. Well, keep your voice down. Let's talk about this.
Right.
I have an image to uphold now. Come on.
Oh, shut up.
We need to be quick. We need holy water, Airden. I'm gonna sneeze. We need holy water.
Why would you need holy water?
We need. You don't know. Okay.
Xander's not very well. We need some holy water to help him.
Yeah, we've taken him to the cleric. He came down with something when he left. We just need. He needs holy water to finish his ritual to help Xander.
I happen to have holy water.
Oh, clap.
Can we have it, please?
Please, Airden.
Well,
you're not getting anything in return. Just give us the goddamn holy water.
Well, if I'm not getting anything in return, I'm not very inclined.
It looks like your sword's gone missing. Where's it gone?
Well, my sword.
Did you get pickpocketed? Oh, what a shame! I'm sure you wouldn't want people to know that now, would you?
Oh, we can help you find it.
No, we won't. Give us the holy water.
I will help you find it.
I'm not having to argue this. I'm just letting them both.
Wait, look, we're all a team. Airden needs his sword. We'll help you find it, Airden, but we need the holy water now, please.
Do I have your word? You'll help me.
Absolutely. And I do the whole whatever my religious thing is,
I look to Anakis.
Fine, give us the goddamn holy water.
Fine, I'll give them it, kind of begrudgingly. It's my only flask, and it's gone.
As we go back over, I look at Airden's new clothes and say, "You look very nice."
Airden will remember this.
Okay, we go back into the temple. I guess lay him down. Are you dropping him again?
I'll drop him on the floor again.
How bad is he looking? Is he still conscious? Like, does he need healing?
I give him a slap
He's
down the
still
face.
unconscious, but you know that's because of what the priest did to him to sort of like help
Right.
slow the damage.
He doesn't. Can I just check?
Go on.
Sorry, can I just check? When we were walking through town, did I need to use any lay on hands on him, and how much did I use? I had.
You'll have needed to use 3 points of lay on hands. Three instances of just like topping him up.
Okay. Cool.
Can I try and learn how to heal him? Is that within my class and the race thing? Because I've got a medicine bonus of +6, so I feel like I might be able to pick something up here.
You'll be able to like sit and observe. If you were to watch everything that the priest did for about a day, you'll be able to learn a few extra like techniques and things. Maybe get a bit better at medicine. Even just watching him for the ritual, you've at least learned that one ritual. But medicine's more for like a combination of like palliative and long-term medical care.
That's fine. No problem.
Yep.
Thank you.
So the priest, looking at him on his floor again, like I said, unless we have enough holy water, I can't.
Is this not enough? Holding out the pot.
Oh, it's a start. Yes.
Oh. It's not enough.
No.
Can we just get more water?
Yeah, can we like add it in and like cut it?
Like supplement it in, maybe?
What?
That's
Just
not
stir in some iron filings? What? No. This is holy water. The divine themselves grant this water extra properties by us anointing it with silver, an element that allows them to communicate with the natural world. Otherwise, they destroy it simply by touching it. It's why you don't see angels flying about the place all the time.
Oh.
Yes,
Well,
it is quite hard to come by, isn't it? Very valuable.
Airden,
Yes.
you don't have any powdered silver by any chance, do you? I mean, it looks like the kind of thing you might have, you know, like.
Airden rummages about in his bag.
Silver. You look like a wealthy, well-off, very handsome guy. I grit my teeth slightly.
I just look at Amy and I'm like, what are you talking
I just like,
Shut up.
go with it.
I've got silver coins.
Could we?
Can that be
grind
rubbed
up?
down?
Yeah, could we grind up some silver coins?
I'll give you
priest.
something in return.
I don't even mind that much. I'm just like, is that feasible? Like, I look to the priest, like, can they be ground up?
The priest describes to you the amount of silver powder that he needs. You know that you would need 100 gold pieces worth.
I don't have that.
No.
So, then we need to go and find someone, presumably in town, that can give us either holy water or that much powder silver.
For free.
I mean, ideally, but you know, we help people out. If someone needs a hand, we can help them out, and they'll help us out. But with Eden gone, Eden, you're the only person anyone's going to listen to around here. Apparently, they only help elves. So
Yes.
we kind of need your help with this.
Okay. Well, let's do a two-pronged attack. As we head out and look for holy water, we'll also be looking for little urchins that stole my sword.
Okay, yeah.
I knew it.
Maybe they've taken like holy water. Maybe it'll be like we'll find 2 and 1. That's a really good idea.
Yes, perhaps they've pickpocketed someone. We can take their stealings or whatever you call it, and we can trade that for holy water? Or
Okay.
I do have 10 gold coins. Can we not just change a gold coin into silver?
Well, I think
yes,
it's
you can.
100
It's 100 gold coins
Yeah, I've got-
worth of silver. So
yeah.
actual silver.
Maybe not. I don't. Oh yes, of
Yeah.
course. Sorry.
It's alright. So it's 10 silver pieces to a gold. So you would need 1,000 silver pieces.
That's a lot of silver.
That is a lot of silver.
Why does it need so much, priest? Why does it need so much?
I get a feeling he might be storing some for himself.
He needs to fix
Yeah.
the church roof.
Yeah.
I don't say that to him, obviously.
So Xander / Cheniel is unconscious. Do I think, like, is it better to leave him in this state that the priest has got him in? Does it seem like he's not deteriorating? And if he was to wake up, he maybe would.
Brother Canto,
That.
as he introduces
Yeah, like, is he
himself,
stable? Or
Brother Canto says that the way his body is fighting itself with this Cheniel inside, he needs constant attention, which Brother Canto is perfectly willing to provide. He will sit here. If you are going to go and look for a way to help him, he will look after him here in the temple and just consistently provide healing to maintain him until you're able to come back with what you need.
If he does come around at all, can you let him know? So, if he comes around, he could either have normal eyes, or he might have like bright blue light eyes. I kind of look sideways at. Oh no, Airden saw this before, didn't he? Airden saw him
Briefly, yes.
this before. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Before
Yeah, so he
before
might
Ed
have,
and
like,
Eden
bright
left, he
blue
did have
eyes, like,
an instance of it.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know. I thought the angel thing was after we'd left.
No, it's twice. So, so the bright blue eyes is this angel thing. The normal eyes is Xander. And there's a tiny chance he might have like fire smoking eyes, but it's probably not going to happen. I wouldn't worry about that too much.
But it could possibly happen.
There's a chance. If he comes around, can you let him know that we have gone to find what we need to get to help him, and we will come back and not to leave?
Yes, of course. I'll make sure that I do the best for him. If he wishes to leave, I won't be allowed to keep him here, but I will strongly advise him to stay.
You need to not let him leave. If it's Xander, he's probably going to storm off. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. He won't come around. I'm sure.
Do you think he would respond well to me simply telling him he's not allowed to leave?
You could command him.
If it's Xander, no, probably not. Do you have spells that like could stop people doing stuff like command or hold person?
I would be able to get a hold of them, but I took a vow not to make anyone do anything against their will. I don't feel comfortable with any enchantment or a casting that would hold someone hostage.
I mumble over my shoulder at Airden and Anakis. Yeah, that wasn't a rule given in my temple. That's not a valid.
I come up. I walk up to you and I just say, it's for his own benefit. If he's let go, he could be a danger.
All right, I will keep an eye on him, and I shall make sure that he stays here for your return. If anything, I might be able to rationalize it as he may be more dangerous set free. Yes, that's it. Yes, I'll keep an eye on him, Sister Amy.
Where do you think is the best place to start to try and get this holy water or the silver?
Me? Oh, I wouldn't have a clue.
Who would you normally ask for it?
I would normally approach the constable.
Okay, well, there we go. There's our start. And we can ask them about your sword, Airden. See, 2 birds.
Yes.
1 hand of seed. As I would never throw a stone at a bird. Shall we?
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, I try and stay like a couple of, a short distance ahead of them, like away from them.
Mm-hmm. Being associated with such riffraff, it's hard.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking magnificent now, and they're, got their dirty traveling clothes on.
As you're moving across this central square, you see that there is a tall building with a spire that sticks out above the inner wall and sort of looks out over the city, with the exception being this massive central tower in the middle. And it is the guardhouse. You see people wearing gambesons with a lion sigil on the breast, wandering in and out, and they do have small arms to their side, daggers and short swords.
Can I, just before I kind of get inside, pull you two over to the side and to Anakis? On this occasion, I think we should let Airden do the talking. And then if we need to, we'll, charm or command or something. But let's try go with this elves helping elves thing. Do you think?
Okay, yes, that's fine.
Okay. So I suggest then that we step back behind Airden a few steps, so it looks like we're just like his. I'm not going to say like servants, but
Ooh.
we look like we're sort of following him around, kind of thing.
That's fine.
Oh, that sounds quite good.
Don't get any bloody ideas, because I swear
Yeah, I'm
I'll
not going
turn the animals on you and then you'll be sorry.
I'm not going to push Anakis. I could maybe Amy might go along with it. I don't know. Sure. Okay. Can we go in and speak to one of the guards or one of the?
As you approach the door, one guard is coming out. He sees you approaching, and he steps to the side and holds the door open for you.
Can I just speak to him? Does he look like, or are they all different ranks, or does it appear like he's just a lackey at the bottom, or would he know anything?
Without explicit knowledge of this city and its operation, you wouldn't know whether he's a lackey or higher up.
No, we don't need to go in, my good sir. Maybe you yourself could help. I've recently returned to the city, and I'm showing these two around. It's like an outreach program type thing. I know that they don't really belong, but it's this new thing that's being tried. And one of them, one of them had something stolen from them. Quite embarrassing. It's my responsibility to look after them, so I should, could you help us out here, point us in the right direction? We'll have to retrieve their items.
Well, if something's been stolen, it's probably from Untrathor.
From what, sorry?
Untrathor? The place where they usually come from.
I'm afraid you'll have to elaborate. We don't really know the city very well.
You yourself are visiting as well?
Well, I haven't been here in a long time. But yes, I'm not up to date with the goings-on in the city.
Right. In that case, I'd best warn you. Is it okay to discuss things in front of your servants?
Oh! I'm fucking loving this. I mean, Airden's loving it. I think I just look at them and kind of go, yes, it's fine. They will they won't retain much of it. It's fine. It's like treat them like children.
He releases the door and starts walking on his rounds, sort of twitching his head to say, "Walk with me and we'll talk." So as he's walking along, he tells you about Untrathar. Untrathar's a city within the city. Tharansari is the pleasant part, the city that you see. Untrathar is where the working class live. They're below the city,
Ooh.
underground. We just call it the Undercity, Untrathar. It's where a lot of the undesirables go as well. I don't wish to alarm you with such crass description, but some families do have the misfortune of having a dragonborn within them. Others with an affliction similar to your friend there, and he sort of nods to Anakis. And such undesirables are sent to go and live in Untrathar, along with any half-elves or any other bastard offspring.
And I just nod sagely as if like, yes, of course.
And as you can understand, people of such a disposition would be the ones that would likely have stolen your companions' accoutrements. He stops in front of a plain wall between two buildings. This, for instance, is one of the many entrances. You'll have seen them around the city, doubtless.
Oh, yes, of course. I was unsure, of course, where they led to, but yes, that explains a lot. How do we pass through?
You simply walk in. I fail to understand. Regardless, once you pass through and down the winding stairs, you'll find yourself in Untrathar. I do advise caution. Perhaps you should hire some muscle. It's an unruly place.
Yes, but I feel I can handle myself, and the two my two charges here, they might come in useful. They might feel, of course, at home in a place like this. So I think everything will work out. Yes. So, one more thing. I need holy water for my supplies. Out in the wild there, outside the city walls. It does sap my supplies some. Do you know anywhere in the city I can replenish?
I would recommend you go and speak to Brother Canto. He is at the Temple of Life over there. He would be the
No, I'm afraid he wasn't much help.
Ah.
No.
He often doesn't order in supplies. There was a situation some time ago. He did requisition some strange materials. There was a lot of oil, ointment, and some powdered silver. We had to go and get that for him. Yes. Any of those ingredients sound familiar? I'm unsure of the...
Well, yes, powdered silver is an important ingredient in holy water.
Well, the powdered silver, if that's what you're needing, if Brother Canto is unable to provide for you, provided that you have someone with the knowledge on how to make holy water, I'd recommend you speak to Farouche. Farouche is a silversmith here in the city. He's bound to have all sorts of shavings and powdered offcuts.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your help. It's much appreciated.
You're very welcome. Before I let you go, I must warn you a bit about Farouche as well. He spends more time with undesirables than one should. As I'm sure you dismiss your hand servants here whenever you need to. Farouche does not.
Yes.
He does occasionally abscond to Untrathar. I advise you go and seek him in his usual lodgings, and if he's not there or in his adjoined workshop, then I would recommend waiting for him. Seeking him out in Untrathar if he is down there, not the wisest of choices.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think a little bow, like a little nod, as if like that'll be all.
He gives you a courteous nod and continues on his patrol.
Okay, I turn to the others, the other two. So, what would you prefer to do? What are we doing?
I think by the sounds of it, we should go and check on this silver guy up here first, and then if he's not here, we would go and do both things in the Undercity. We'll be able to find him, I'm sure.
Yes, because get my sword. Is most important. This holy water, I suppose we could do on the way. Yeah, type thing.
Yeah. But let's do all the things up here first. So we'll go to the silver guy first, check if he's here, and then if he's in the Undercity, we know we can do both at the same time.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
After you, Airden, since I presume he's an elf as well.
Me as Daniel is just like fucking Airden.
I say, I jokingly say after you, sir, and bow.
I just say effing sir under my breath. Effing sir in my effing arse.
If Airden ever dies, my next character is going to be like, they'll make Amy seem dour and kind of horrible.
So, with you guys being on your way to seek out Farouche in the more industrial end of the city, to go and see if you can find him and potential silver powder, we are going to stop and go for our break.
I didn't even realise the time.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So thank you for everyone that is with us in the live chat. We will be back fairly soon. But yeah, we'll continue things when we get back. See you later. About 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one. All right. Bye, guys.
Someone's phone's making that little
Yeah.
We're on!
Mine's
Yes,
on
it's
flight
mine.
mode.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying with us. This is Crit It and Hit It. 5 D&D nerds doing D&D things. Does anyone have any quick announcements that they want to make?
I don't think so.
No.
We could mention again, I think we've mentioned before, but me, Abby, and Kerry are all going to UK Games Expo, which is like just over a month away.
I'm not trading. I'm just sort of helping you too.
Oh, sorry, sorry,
No,
Abby.
it's fine.
At this rate, the amount of stock I'm going to have, you might be trading, Abby.
All right.
I don't have a lot of stock, so
I have a box full. of
Well, if anyone wants to personally come and see Abby, then I guess you'll be there.
Yeah, don't think I've got that much of a fan base just yet.
yeah.
Cool.
Should we get on with it?
Yeah.
That was it.
I was
That's all I
just
can think
going
of.
to say Bradford Literature Festival. I now have more information. So Bradford Literature Festival, I will be running D&D on the 30th of June. That's a Sunday. And they are charging tickets of a price of £10, but it's £1 if you have anything going on. If you're a student, it's £1. If you're an old age pensioner, it's £1. If you're under the age of 16 or 18, it's £1. So like all concessions are £1. Otherwise, it's £10 to go and play. And I think they've set it for up to 9 people can like buy a ticket. But if you don't want to buy a ticket to play in the game, you can like mill around and just watch the game. It'll be about 5 to 6 hours. There'll be a break in the middle of it for people to go and get sandwiches and drinks and things. But yeah, it should be really good.
Cool.
Moving swiftly on, we were in an elven city, the city of Tharansari, and we'd learned a few things. Do people want me to recap what we'd learned, or one of you guys want to take on the mantle?
Maybe very, very. I don't know. I was going to say, someone do a very quick recap, I guess.
Yeah, because I kind of know where we were.
Yeah, I'm just
we're off to find the Silver Man.
Yep. So we're going looking for the Silver Man, and then we're going to go look for Airden's sword in the Undercity. Where then Airden will have to become our servants, because it's a place for me and Anakis, our kind.
I'm not going to do great down there.
No, you might want to change your clothes back.
Yeah, this is why I kept my old clothes, yeah.
I think this might be our time.
Yes, the petty criminals and all the outcasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave you up here if you want, or we can leave you for dead down there. It's entirely up to you.
Think of how many people I can help down there, though. Think of how many people need our help. Need the light of feature brought down into the Undercity to them to improve.
And there's going to be so many people like me. Sorry.
And Xander, like Xander too. Oh, Xander would like it down there.
It's going to be
let's
lovely.
Not as excited about it anymore.
It's just an entire city full of Xanders, just on street corners, one leg perched up against it, cigarette in the mouth. just the only lighting is mood lighting.
And I stroll in my silk suit, like, hello.
You're gonna get robbed
Yeah.
so quickly.
You are.
You've already been robbed up here, let alone down there.
You will be heading towards the industrial district. So you head east. You wander through some very, very nice baileys of the city walls. There are quite a few people wandering about. You see the occasional person who seems like there might be a servant, most of them elven looking. They are wearing less ostentatious garb than the rest, usually earthy tones, but still finely turned out. A lot of collars and buttons and things. So they're presentable. And eventually you come to a large set of gates that, rather than opening on hinges, pull apart. As they are being pulled apart for you, there is smog on the other side. The buildings have this sort of ruddy grey-brown tinge to them. There are quite a few chimneys spouting smoke, all of it being kept inside this area. You see that there's a few guards standing on top, just occasionally moving their arms in a whooshing gesture, and gusts of wind follow their arms and push the smoke away.
Can I do the same with my thaumaturgy? Can I copy them?
You can, yes, and you're able to produce a very similar effect and keep the smog away from you.
Nice.
So if you want to be able to, like,
whacked it into Airden's face.
I was going to suggest a bubble around you, but all right.
When she does that, when Anakis does that, as I'm still thinking we need to be pretending to be like Airden's help or something, I run up to Airden and get out like a hanky or like a cloth or something and start like rubbing his face to like clean the muck off that Anakis just sort of blew all over him. Like, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Oh, kind of like trying to clean it up.
I let her and just like, yes. Mm-hmm.
Besides the guards atop the wall, you don't see a lot of movement around here. You do hear the occasional like conversation, shout. You see at the end of the street that you're currently on, you're in an intersection, but down at the bottom of the street near the outer wall, you can see a cart being pulled along by a few elves that are chatting to each other and shouting, calling to someone near a warehouse-looking building. It looks like this is the place where there will be smiths and smelters of all kinds, people working with a wide range of materials.
So out of character. So I know there are things. Oh, I don't know how much I want to say. I think you know what I'm going to ask you.
I can pretend that I do. I honestly don't know what you might be, because there are a couple of things, and I'm trying to work out which without necessarily tipping the hand.
Send it in a message.
Others.
Send it over.
Yeah.
Where's my Facebook? Right, carry on. I'll send you a message to go.
All right.
I send it on Facebook.
Airden, sir, should we find the silversmith?
Yes, I suppose we should. Yes, good. They're like really, really patronising kind of, yes, good, yes, silversmith.
I agree, because I feel like this is us bonding. Like, this is, like, we're making friends now.
I'm still annoyed that like 2 or 3 episodes ago I tried to reach out and smile and cheer you up, and you just seemed to like blank out and ignore it.
It wasn't my fault.
I know. I know that. So you said there was someone about, Drew? There was like 2 elves with a cart?
Yeah, they're a good 100 feet away. They're down a street.
I head towards them to ask them. I'm not going to shout to them. Not very becoming.
As they see you approaching, they stop the cart and bow really deeply. Can we help, sir?
I give them a short little, curt little nod. And I go, yes, I am looking for the silversmith, Farouche. I'm in need of his services. If you could point me in the direction, please. I'd be much obliged.
One turns to the other, they quickly nod, and one of them picks up the cart all by themselves and very slowly starts hauling this massive cart along the street, while the other one waits for him to pass And as he takes this cart away from between you, he then takes a step forward. Says, I can take you to him, sir.
Yes, please. Be my guest.
And he starts walking down the street, taking you to a small hovel-looking thing. This is a building that has been scrubbed, so it is pristine white, like a couple of other buildings, but most of them kind of have this soot layer sort of laying on top of them. He points you to the door and simply says, so inside there you should find him, but I do warn you, he can be a little bit crotchety at times. But,
Yes, his reputation precedes him. I thank you.
You're welcome, sir. If you ever need anything else, do give a call.
Yes, thank you. What's your name?
Oh, you won't need my name, sir.
Okay. Sorry, Drew. My name?
Random NPC. It's a family name.
Find a lot of them here.
Say, well, you have Airden's thanks.
He bows deeply and turns, and then shouts his name across the winds, and you remember it for the rest of your life. His amazing name. Anyway, the door is in front of you.
Yeah, we go in.
After you, sir. I open the door for Airden.
I just roll
And
my
then,
eyes.
bow as he walks past.
Oh, yes, this is great. I think I'm almost getting into this now. I'm almost like forgetting that it's a bit. I'm like just thinking this is how it should be. This is great.
No.
You're both like on each shoulder. Yeah, we go inside.
Sweet. Entering, you just sort of push on the handle. The door swings open. Inside, you get this really strong metallic stench filling your nostrils. All the windows have been shuttered. There's one person standing at the far end of a very narrow corridor with this bright orange glow all around him. He's almost silhouetted, and he's standing in front of this large bowl, slowly tipping the contents into something in front of him on a table. There are two rooms, one to either side, that are coming off this corridor, and the one directly in front of you. The ones to either side appear to be a sitting room and a sleeping chamber. Both very small, very sparsely decorated.
Can I go and investigate the living room? See if there's anybody in there? For Airden's safety, obviously.
The living room, you see, has two stools, a small table, and a small chest on the table. Like a small... like this.
Can I go and invest?
I take it the guy hasn't noticed we're there yet, or
yes, his back is to you.
Okay.
I just cough.
As he's tipping this, he doesn't move. He just says, "I'll be with you in a minute. Just hold on." Keeps tipping, and stops. Sets it to the side. Takes off these big, heavy leather gloves and set them aside. As he turns around, he looks familiar to Airden. This appears to be the gentleman that helped you find your clothes.
Oh. Oh shit. Okay. We have the pleasure of meeting again.
We do indeed.
So you must be Farouche. I didn't realise.
I am. how are you finding your new attire?
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. I'm here with these my two charges here. We're looking for how do you say, powdered silver, ground silver, and we're pointed in your direction.
Well, I certainly would be the person to provide that. I am a silversmith. Tell me, what do you need it for?
Well, as you know, it's one of the major ingredients in holy water, and we're needing to create quite a large quantity. I myself am needing to replenish my supplies. But yes, this is just what we need. We just need the silver. Everything else we can deal with ourselves.
Oh, yes, I can certainly help you with some powdered silver. How much are you needing?
How much are we needing, Drew? It's a 100.
100 gold piece worth.
Shit. So is that going to cost us 100 gold? I presume.
Potentially.
We've got ways around it. Don't worry about it. Just ask and then we'll see.
We need 100 gold pieces worth.
Are you making an industrial vat of holy water?
Apparently so.
100 gold pieces. And how urgently would you say you need this amount?
I turned to the other two and just like, well...
We need it as soon as possible. Right now, if you have it. Please, sir, kind elf. I bow profusely.
Very good.
Could everyone give me a charisma saving throw, please?
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Saving throw. Oh, why am I getting my phone?
What are you wanting? It cut out, sorry.
Sorry, a charisma saving throw.
Oh, you kidding me?
Okay.
16.
18.
Come on, baby. 11.
He looks at each one of you in turn, looking you up and down quickly. He then turns back, picks up his gloves, and sort of like wrings them and stretches them a little bit, and you notice some flecks of silver falling to the ground as he steps forward with these heavy boots. You know, a lot of people would do an awful lot of things that they may not be proud of in order to get their hands on just a handful of powdered silver. What you're asking for is literally a barrel full. A barrel full of silver powder, which means that it must be an act of desperation. If you were wanting that much powdered silver, and you mentioned holy water, that suggests to me that what you're wanting to do is make a magic circle, which means that you are wanting to dabble in something to do with a fae? No, not a fae. Undead, maybe? No. Demons. Ah. He points at Anakis. I see a flicker. A weakness in your resolve. This is something to do with the divine. He throws his gloves back down to the table. I can help you. I can. But I need a favour in return.
What's the favour?
Come with me. And he tries to push past you in the narrow corridor out the door.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yes, please do.
I forgot we could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just happily. Amy doesn't really do insight. She just
21.
I'm trained.
Okay, so you know that he recognized something in you, Anakis. He has tried to assess each of you to try and find a weakness, a way in, and he's got the bearing of a business person, a very shrewd merchant, possibly someone who dabbles more in the grey areas when it comes to legalities. And he seems quite excited at the idea that he has you guys looking for quite a lot of silver. He doesn't seem to want to harm you directly, though.
Directly.
What?
Not indirectly. Who's he going to sell us to? Who's he going to sell me to? No, I'm joking. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's go. We're just going to be very wary. I'm just very wary of him. Very wary. I don't trust him at all.
Yeah, I'll let those two go first and then follow.
I mean, I'll be like happily like getting the silver, gonna help a friend.
I just say to Amy. I just say, Amy, just under my breath so he doesn't hear. Just be careful.
Always.
Okay.
I'm always careful.
Yes, you. Yeah. Just be careful. All right. Just have your wits about you.
Okay. I'll go first.
As you follow him out of the building, he heads across the street to one of these plain walls that were pointed out to you before by the guard, and that Airden has seen before. And he steps into the wall, swivels slightly, and then disappears.
Can I try and copy?
You can, yes. Give me a perception check, please.
Roll a do you believe enough check.
Oh, that's not good. That would be a 2.
You wander up to the wall, and this is just solid wall. There is no doorway or anything here.
Can I knock on it and just shout his name?
As you shout his name, his head pops next to yours, from the side of you, not in front of you. Yes?
I can't get through. Could you open the door for us, please, sir? Kind sir. Bow.
He gives you a dismissive look, shakes his head, turns, and carries on walking. From your position now, Amy, you can see that he has walked down a narrow passageway between two walls. You see
like
now
Labyrinth.
that... yes, exactly like that. It looks like a flat bit of wall when you first approach it, but if you step in, there's basically like a few feet of like depression, and then you can go around it.
Cool. Go on, guys, look! Excitedly go down the corridor.
As you guys travel through this hidden door. Oh, sorry, Daniel.
As soon as I'm not in like the upper world, wherever it is, as soon as I'm out of sight of like, you know, not out in the open, I'll get changed into my my street clothes, my old kind of dirty adventuring things. Classic Airden.
You'll note as you're pulling on your boots, mismatched as they are, that the mud has been brushed off them. And while they haven't been fully polished, a lot of your clothes have just been given a quick dust while they were dressing you in the newer clothes. So a little bit tidier. Also, a bit of ripping in your coat has been stitched up quickly. Farouche leads you down a set of spiral stairs. After good 20 feet or so, he then stops at a landing. The stairs do continue down, but he stops, takes you to this sort of mud rock carved corridor that goes for about 5 feet, and there's a portcullis in front of it. He pulls on a cranked lever on the side, which lowers the portcullis slightly as it goes down into the ground. He then lifts it again and pulls it down, and with each crank it pulls this portcullis down a little bit more, until eventually it rests entirely inside its guard on the floor, and he invites you all to cross the threshold with him.
Can I ask where are we going?
We're going to my office.
But wasn't that your office up there? Over there.
One
Is
of
he
them.
Satan? This is so ominous.
One of them.
I want to roll another insight check. I do not trust this slimy git one bit.
I honestly have no idea what you're on about. This guy is the most trustworthy, straightforward.
Oh, well, that's bloody rubbish. That's a natural 2. That's a 6.
You sense that he's essentially leading you guys to the slaughter. This guy is going to turn a corner, swivel on his heels, and like drive a dagger into one of your hearts.
So Anakis isn't happy then.
I'm going to shout, Farouche. And I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy, and I want my eyes to turn. I want them to flame. And I just want to intimidate him and just sort of say, I hope we're not going to find trouble down here.
Give me an intimidation check.
Come on. Yes! Project! Yes!
Nice. I rolled pretty well as well, but no, I only got a 17. So, he lowers his gaze for a moment, only flicking his eyes up as he's talking. I assure you, I'm not going to harm you. I simply wish to speak in a more safe environment. Fewer ears.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
A few
let's
more
keep going.
twists and turns. You notice that there are a few windows carved into the mud and rock to the side, but you've not found any doorways as yet. After about a minute of wandering through these very tight corridors and passageways underground, you then appear in an opened up area. These are the foundations of the buildings up above, stretching down, and all the streets are mirrored underneath. So it's basically like a mirrored, reflected version of the city, with the exception of the fact that the districts are not separated by walls. It's entirely open. You see lots of people wandering about. There are gangs of Dragonborn wandering about, all manner of different scale colours, heights. They are talking in a strange language that's got a lot of clicks and phlegm at the back of the throat sort of sounds. Does anyone speak Draconic?
Don't think so.
No.
I just kind of, keep my hands on my pockets and my few remaining possessions, and just kind of, I've been pickpocketed once. I'm not going to let them pickpocket me again.
There are a bunch of kids running around. you notice that there are a lot of people with an elven appearance, sort of hanging about in doorways and around the streets. But this place seems very busy, very lively. There are street vendors here selling all kinds of freshly fried vole and worms in a small paper bag that you can eat on the go.
Are any of them selling weapons? Or anything shiny?
You do see a few places with weapons on the back wall, but no one like shouting, daggers for sale, 3 for £1.
Okay.
Everyone seems to be selling like food or small trinkets and things. No one seems to be selling weapons, but you do see weapons on the back wall. But you can certainly make some inquiries if you want.
I think just if we get the chance, I don't want to go too much out of our way, but because we're following Farish.
Yes.
But yeah, like if we go past any of the stalls close enough for me to have a look, I want to just have a look at what they're selling and see if I recognise any of the trinket that I lost or my rapier.
Farouche eventually gets to his office, which is a place underneath the temple up above. As he's sitting down in a large shalong that he's got there, he then snaps his fingers and a few small half-elven children come out, one with a bowl of hot soup, the other one with a samovar and several cups on a small trolley, which he wheels out and offers tea for all of you.
I just sort of say to the children, "Thank you, little ones."
They giggle and titter.
I'll take the tea, but not drink it yet.
Yeah, I'll take one as well.
You see that the lighting is provided by a lot of oil lamps dotted about the place. But in here, he's got a few jars with glowworms set about. So a lot of the place has been lit with a very orange hue, but in this place it's this very sort of calming blue that's lighting the area.
Is there any like sign of the temple above down here? Like, does it look like it has any religious stuff?
There doesn't seem to be any religious stuff, but you see the extension of the pillars that were holding it up, continuing down. He stretches on the shalong. Right. While you're here, feel free to make yourselves at home, but I wish to talk business. You're wanting the powdered silver. He waves at someone. Whispers into their ear. It's a dragonborn. He's quite a tall, buff, broad person with a reddish hue to his brown scales. As he's being whispered to, he stares at each of you in turn. And as he straightens up, he walks away.
I think the question we all have on our mind is, but how handsome is he?
I was just going to say, like, this would be up my street.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's Anakis. She's quite well. I don't know. She's turned out to be a character that I didn't plan for. So.
Airden will notice, taking a quick look around, that there are a few stalls set up right nearby, including one with a small boy who is staring at Airden quite obviously.
You want to deal with that?
I stare back.
He shrinks down in the stall that he's in on the far side of the counter, and now it's just his eyes above.
How far away is it?
It's about 30 feet. You can easily just stroll over.
I'll just I know we're in the middle of conversation with Farish, but I'll just 2 seconds. Please continue. I'll be back in a moment.
Where are you going?
They can speak for me, and I'm going to go across and approach the stall with the little boy.
You say your passive perception was 14, yeah?
Yeah.
This stall has a wide array of weapons for sale. There's a few hatchets that seem to be crudely made, hacked out of whatever scraps of metal and wood they could find. An array of daggers, some of which very ornate. There's one rapier hanging above all the rest of the weapons that looks very, very familiar.
I'll ask the little boy, this rapier there, that's a very fine piece of work, isn't it? Where did this come from?
Been in my collection for a great number of years, my lord.
Oh, really? It's very, very fine piece of work. Is it for sale?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
It's available for whatever coin you might have. Dwarven, elven, human. We take all sorts.
I see. Well, I have this, and I take out my crossbow and point it at him. I'm like, so, how about you give me the rapier that you took from me? I'll just take that away, and we'll speak no more of this. And well, that'll be that.
Airden feels large bodies on either shoulder. Descending to...
Can I...
sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. I was going to go running over.
You can
So
do
I
one.
I just sort of have we seen this happen?
It's only 30 feet away.
Yeah,
so...
it's really
Alright,
close
I
by.
say to Farouche, I say he had the rapier stolen earlier, and I think it's that rapier that's up there.
How unfortunate.
Oh, can I... Right, I want to run over, like, to these men who are, like, starting to gang up on Airden. Like, oh, I'm so sorry for his hostility. It was just a misunderstanding. Please, everything's fine. And I'll push the crossbow, like, down.
The blue dragonborn that's on his left shoulder and the almost sickly yellow-skinned tiefling that's on the other shoulder both turn to look at you with a glare in their eyes. Could you give me a charisma ability check? I'm trying to think. Persuasion would probably be the best, if you wanted to add a proficiency to it. Yeah.
I don't actually have proficiency in persuasion.
Fair enough.
Oh. No, I'm so sorry. 5.
As they glare at you, they both then turn back to look at Airden. And one of them, the Dragonborn, with his claw, just scrapes at Airden's neck, drawing a little bit of blood. Looks
Not a
over
good
to
idea.
Farouche.
I just sort of I look directly at the dragonborn in the eyes, and I walk over with intent.
Can I just want to be like, Airden, no.
I kind of...
No.
See, I have a reaction when I take damage.
No, Airden.
And I was just
No.
waiting for them to take damage.
Can I want to, like, seeing all this starting to, like, Anakis over and Airden starting to get annoyed, I'm going to pull out my pouch and I put 1 gold coin on the top of the counter and push it towards the boy and say, my friend's just confused. We'd like to take that rapier and a certain trinket that you maybe took as well if you have it.
I had a small trinket of very, very special importance to me.
Or information if you know who took it. And guys, look, come on, let us just, we're all friends here, okay? And then I'm going to pass a gold piece to each of the other 2 people next to Airden. And she's like, look, it's just been a misunderstanding, please. Like, we're just trying to help our friend, and then we'll be gone. And please
Make a persuasion check with advantage. It appears you're now speaking the language of Untrathar.
18. Persuasion. 20. Not natural. 20.
The Dragonborn grunts and walks away, sort of balancing this drop of blood on his claw. The Tiefling takes one strong stride back, but then folds his arms and continues watching. The small boy sort of pops up, drags the gold piece across the counter, and pops into a small pouch on his side. He then pulls up the small trinket and slides it across to Airden.
And the rapier, please.
Oh, you wanted the rapier too, miss?
Yes, please.
Happily do so. It's 12 gold.
12 gold?
Can I see it first? I need to check that it's mine.
Airden, no. Look, I'm trying to defuse the situation here.
I'll take while she's talking, I will take the trinket, so at least I've got that.
I kind of bend down so I'm sort of on the kid's level, and then I'm talking very like I'm talking to a child. No, how Amy talks to a child, not how I talk to a child. She was me, and she's like, So I'll say, I don't have much more than I only had the 3 gold that I gave you and your friends. We didn't come down here to shop, but maybe I could give you one of these instead. And I open up the jar of eyes and pull one out and hold it out to him and say, if you put this in your mouth and you hold it there and you suck on it, you can see the future. So you'll be able to see like what you're going to be doing when you're older. That's worth more than the 12 gold pieces. I paid 12 gold pieces an eye. That's your money right there.
What do I do with the eye?
You put it in your mouth, and then you suck on it, and then you'll see future visions. It sounds gross, but they taste like sweets.
Make one more persuasion check, one more charisma check.
Oh, okay. 18.
Ooh.
Nice. He slowly, without losing sight of the eye, picks it up. You can hear it squelch slightly as he does so. And then the Tiefling sort of strides forward again, reaches over Airden's shoulder, grabs the rapier from the back, and then hands it down to him.
Thank you so much.
Amy, they've just robbed you.
What do you mean they've just robbed me?
Well, this isn't money we owe them for anything. We're simply buying back something they've stolen from me.
Airden, look at... And then I kind of... I want to do this so they can't hear me, because I don't want to, like, hurt people's feelings. But I say, Airden, look at what they're living in. Like, they need this. This is helping them. It's fine. Plus, we need this guy's help. Like, I don't want to cause problems and get kicked out.
Okay,
It's my stuff to give. Like, don't you worry about it. We have plenty of eyes left. I've still got 11 eyes left. I've still got some money left.
I'll begrudgingly take my rapier. I'm trying to stare and intimidate the Dragonborn, but I imagine it's probably not going to work.
As you look for the Dragonborn, you don't see him. The blue-tinged Dragonborn has gone. The one with the red scales that was being whispered to by Farouche, who is slurping his soup from his ceramic bowl. The red one has come back, hauling this massive barrel, which he then slowly places next to Farouche. And he places the bowl on top of it. If you're quite done shopping...
Oh.
Just We're done. We'd love to talk business with you now.
Excellent.
What was the favour that you wanted?
This right here, and he taps the barrel. That is the gold, not the gold, the silver powder.
Have a look.
Of course.
I see.
There must be trust between us for business. And he takes the bowl off, cracks open the barrel, and you see it is a barrel full of dull grey powder.
Can I just to test? Can I? I'll say to him. I completely trust you, but I've been duped by people before, and I promise I would never let it happen again. So I'm just gonna put my sword in, okay?
By all means.
Is that okay? Okay. I dig my sword down, and just to make sure that there's not like a fake bottom, and it doesn't like it's not the whole barrel.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's not like a person.
You slaughter an innocent.
Broken evil Amy.
Yes, he put Bambi's mother in the bottom of the barrel. No. No, you stick your sword in, and it only hits the bottom of the barrel, the actual bottom, not any false bottom. And as you pull the sword back out, some of the flecks drip from the sword hilt, and they catch the light and glitter. So you can tell that
tap
this
it
is...
off like you do with like a wooden spoon on a pan. Too late. I thought so. I just, as a businessman, you must understand. Like, I just had to check based on past experiences.
Of course, yes.
Roll my eyes.
Now, this transaction is twofold. The first is I need you to carry something for me to somewhere. Just a simple delivery job. If you deliver this for me, the second part of the job should be fairly evident, but I have recently employed people to perform said task, and they found themselves unable to fulfill it, so I shall make it plain for you. I want you to take this jar of liquid, and the Red Dragonborn pulls from behind his back a jar of a almost black inky liquid. As he shakes the jar, it kind of slops around. Take this liquid, and I want you to pour it on the ground of your destination. And then take these, and the Dragonborn pulls from behind his back another hand, and it's full of feathers that have an iridescent sheen to them. And then place these in the blood.
Wait, okay. This is blood? The bottle is blood?
Yes.
What? Right. Several questions, which I'm sure, again, you understand, like, we have to get, everything. We need to know what we're doing. Blood of what? Or who, should I say?
I interrupt Amy before he answers any of those questions. Let me just get this straight. We're to take the silver away with us on the condition that we will also take this somewhere and do something with it.
He turns and tries to laugh with the Dragonborn, who just stares at you three, unmoving. You could laugh from time to time, It's healthy. No. Airden, no. I'm afraid that the barrel will remain with me until the job is done.
One more, if you'll allow me. How many men do you have down here?
I can certainly accommodate any needs that you have. Be assured I have enough men to satisfy.
I see.
I just not. Airden's interested. So where? Right. Okay. I have a few questions too. So yeah, this blood. What is this blood of?
The details need not be gone into. The blood and the feathers are simply of a thing that was acquired by a person. The place that you're going is of little consequence to you, being that you are visitors here, not residents.
Where's the place?
It's within the city boundaries, up in Tharansari.
Where though?
Simply the home of a friend.
What? Okay, if you want us to do this, we're gonna actually need to know where. So
I will tell you exactly where, if you accept the job.
come on. What? Right? Why have people not been able to do it?
Mostly gaining access to the property, which I don't imagine to be much of a problem for the three of you, since you managed to get within the city boundaries easily enough.
Were they getting hurt or just turned away?
They were getting turned away. The people that I hire to do jobs for me, they are often unskilled, undisciplined. They are turned away easily.
Can I insight on that? See whether
Yes.
it was turned away.
Can I do a Arcana? Do I recognise this magic?
Yeah, I was about to ask if I could do the same, because I feel like Airden would maybe have be able to recognise like rituals and things needed for things like summoning stuff.
Mine's sort of hellish.
If Abby, could you instead, if Airden's going to do an Arcana check, would you mind making it a nature check on your part?
Yeah, that'd be 17.
So I'm doing an Arcana check.
Yes. What's Amy's insight?
20. Not natural.
20. He is alluding to the fact that they were intimidated into turning away by danger.
Okay.
So it is dangerous, and these people left before it got dangerous. They haven't been killed.
Right. Okay.
What was Airden's Arcana?
I got an 18 for Arcana.
18 for Arcana. And what was it you were specifically looking at for the Arcana?
I want to see if I recognise this as if I know what it does, because I feel like with Airden's background, he'll maybe be familiar with like rituals for summoning things or spells or curses that can be put on a place. I just want to see if I have any inkling of what this is. Like, have I seen it before, type thing.
Usually, if someone wants to desecrate a place, blood is a very good ingredient for that sort of thing. But from everything that you're seeing here, this doesn't seem to be part of any arcane ritual whatsoever. In fact, the motivations for doing this seem incredibly mundane and not clear at all. Like none of this, like the feathers and the blood, don't seem to be connected at all.
I got 17.
17 on nature. You recognise the feathers. This is a very rare bird, something that if someone was rich enough, they would be proud to have in their menagerie. It is a bird that has a particular way of singing that calms and soothes the nerves in the way of a magical spell might. Just no matter what mood you're in, always makes you feel better. The blood looks to be of a similar consistency to that of that kind of bird.
She's wanting to resurrect.
It's a very expensive bird.
I'm wondering if he's wanting to frame someone. If no one else wants to, can I speak to Furush?
Well,
yeah.
Because Amy, you were.
I was.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like
No. Go ahead.
My
I was just.
up the situation. Is it going to be a threat or?
No, I just wanted to speak freely to him, but like I forgot what everyone was doing. I didn't want to jump ahead of someone else.
Okay, yeah, I was still. I'll finish that a little bit, I guess. Although I kind of lost where I was. So you just do an Airden.
Farouche, let me speak freely. I have no qualms about what you're asking us to do. I really couldn't care less. I don't even care about why we need silver filings for holy water. But if you're asking me to do something, I'm not going to go in blind. I'm not a fool. Just be frank with us. Tell us what it is you want us to do, and then I'll go do this. If you're, I don't know, you're framing someone, you're resurrecting something, casting a spell, whatever. I don't pass any judgment or have any qualms with anything, but, let's just be clear with each other.
Give me a charisma ability check.
Oh. Well. Next time we get a level, oh god, 7. Next time we get to like add something to our ability scores, I'm going to try and charisma up Airden a bit.
He walks over to the samovar, pours himself a cup of tea, and then takes a long sip. You are very perceptive, Airden. And for a scepter, I think that's an admirable trait. Yes, I am looking to frame someone. And he sets the teacup down on top of the barrel of silver. I want you to make it seem as though someone has killed this valuable, valuable bird.
Okay.
It already looks dead to it already looks dead to me.
Oh, it is.
So
And who's the target of this? I just want to make sure it's no one we know.
The target of this is oh, I've only just realised the irony of such a thing. But yes, Silverstar Optun.
Okay.
Who's this? Why is that ironic?
Oh, well, those lovely clothes you saw me in earlier, Amy. I think it was the Uptons that furnished me with those lovely clothes.
Oh.
But
Okay.
but also pickpocketed you.
No, I don't.
Well, I don't know. They weren't involved, and the lady was, quite rude.
Farouche. If we go and do this and the framing happens, is it all going to get a bit like hectic up there? Like, I guess there'll be like an uproar or something.
Oh, nothing on the of the sort that you might be expecting. No, Tharansari is a very civil place. This sort of thing will have the authorities called and the accused dealt with. It'll be a very quiet affair. Everyone will know about it, but you wouldn't know everyone knew about it.
So I understand your terms. However, let me now be frank, since that's what we're all doing. Our friend was stricken with something that you sort of touched on before, and he is desperately, desperately injured. Every minute that we spend down here, he's moving closer to death. We need the silver for the holy water now. Like, we need it like an hour ago. That's how quickly whatever the word. That's how soon we need it. I understand that you are probably using what is our desperation for this to try and get us to do this. I believe my friends and I are willing to do what you ask us to do. However, if we could take the silver first, or at the same time, if we would take the silver with us as well as the blood and the feathers, and get the silver to the cleric so he can start work for our friend and to save him as quick as possible, and then we'll go and do your thing while he's doing that, just so we can get our friend fixed. That's all I ask.
It does sound an awful lot like your friend really needs this silver. I'll tell you what. I'll let you take a handful of the silver powder as a token.
We need the whole thing. I don't know how making. Do I know how?
Amy?
Do I know how? Yes, Airden. Do I know how making holy water works? Like, will he need the entire barrel to do it, or can he do it?
He will need the entire barrel. There's no half measure with it.
Okay. That's not gonna work. We need the entire thing at once. So how about some form of compensation?
Well, there is, I suppose, some room for negotiation. I want this task done. I want it done soon. I want it done right. Your options appear to be quite limited. If you want this barrel of silver, I want something in return. I want this job done. I suppose the other option is you give me Mr. Scepter there. Just leave him with me.
I mean, I actually am kind of warming to Farush, to be honest.
He agrees. It's done. We leave. Airden, would you? If Airden stayed here with you while we took the silver and went and did your thing that you're asking us to do, and then when it's done, we come back and find you and pick up Airden.
Oh, you misunderstand. No, I want Airden.
So you take Airden, but we don't do the.
No, Amy.
Anakis, shh. We do. You don't need us to do the blood thing if you take Airden. It's one or the other. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying. Yes, I have Airden.
Why do you need Airden? Out of all the people to take from this group, I advise you that he's not the one to take.
Oh.
No offense, Airden.
No. It's fine.
Are you going to make me a better offer?
Well, I'm saying he's not. Airden's lovely, but if it's like conversation and, like companionship and stuff, not much for talker. He's not one for chat. I
assure you, he won't need to talk.
Why?
Whoa.
Why
didn't you get that from the get-go, you bloody idiot? I live in the bloody woods and I got it.
Why do you need Airden?
If this seems to be involving me, I feel like I should have a say. What would be the terms of me staying here? Am I just to sit here and drink tea and await the return of my travelling companions? That sounds quite agreeable to me.
If they wish to visit you, no, I mean to keep. You would be mine.
Like
I
a pet?
see.
Or a slave, or
No, Amy, this is adorable. He thinks he could keep me. This is great. Let him have his games. I'm quite warming to him. He does have a quite interesting sense of humour. You want to save Xander. I have no investment in that. I don't know.
Oh.
Are you not on a certain path that you need help with, Airden? I don't think you can do that alone.
Out of game for a second, am I?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that either.
I don't think so. We haven't delved into my backstory much. I'm just kind of like wanting to root out evil, but yeah.
Since we're out of character for a moment, like full disclosure, I'm not 100% on how to follow through with the whole keeping Airden thing. Like,
no, we're all just
Quite his way out, to be fair. So.
we're all just yes-anding.
Yeah, I feel like we're slowly moving towards Airden is actually going to be sold to this guy, and like
I feel like it might be.
That's not what we want.
But guys, we can like so. Okay, so like Dragon Den style, I'm gonna right. I'm gonna say okay. We've listened to your proposals. Could we just take a minute to like just chat over all the options and decide which one we want to go with?
Feel
Yes.
free.
Okay, so
My place is your place. Feel free.
thank you. I bow.
I bow as well.
I just look him up and down.
Pull Anakis over to the side. Okay.
Abby, what were you going to say? Or was it Anakis that was going to speak? Who are we speaking to now?
I don't know. I'm going to say there's things that I feel I need to find down here. I think I have a path down here.
Down here.
Yes.
So you're saying this now in our little group?
Yes, in our little group.
What?
And I think I'm going to need help.
What do you need to find down here?
I need to find myself down here.
Like a pilgrimage?
Sort of. Yes. I need to find. I need to find some answers.
Okay. Right. Airden,
Yes.
where are you falling on this framing or are you staying here thing?
Well, he thinks he could keep me down here. I mean, I think we all know I wouldn't stay here for long. I don't know. I don't have any desire to help Xander, but then we have a lot of unfinished, complicated business there that I want to be present for. I have two suggestions, wildcard suggestions. One, we refuse, go away, and then we steal the silver powder. Quite feasible. Between the three of us, I think we have, I do think you both have talents that we could all contribute and team up together, maybe take it.
I also feel that Farouche has a lot of Dragonborn that will come after us and will probably kill us all.
Well, that feeds into my second plan.
Right.
I'm not sure how the structure works down here, but he seems to be the head of it all. Now, if you were a Dragonborn working for what seems to be a crime lord, what if somebody killed the crime lord and took their place? Would you avenge your fallen boss, or would you accept the new boss because you're wanting work?
I don't know. I couldn't possibly imagine what a criminal like that would do. That's. But also, I just want to say thank you for the compliment. That's the nicest thing I think you've ever said to us, that we've got talent.
Well, I mean,
having such a good day together.
I vote for taking over the Undercity.
Right. I think we need to get the silver up to. Okay. How about?
Oh yeah, there's a time concern.
There is a time concern. So what we could do.
The time concern is not as pressing. So Brother Kanto said that he could just continuously heal Xander. He won't be able to stop the deterioration, but he's able to keep him on an even keel relatively indefinitely. You can just keep healing him a little bit, spending his spell slots to heal the little bits of damage that he takes. It's just that he's not going to be a functional person until this ritual is performed.
Right. Okay. So, what time of day is it now?
It'll be approaching late afternoon.
Right. So we need to do this at night.
Why do we?
Wait a minute. I've got the little worm thing, right? That if it latches on someone, it makes them really deathly ill.
Yeah.
Could we trick Farouche into getting it somehow? So Airden's just fixated on he doesn't want Farouche to win.
I don't even know if you'd need to trick him, to be honest. You could probably go up behind him, open the jar, and it'd spring out and burrow into his neck.
Could we not just charm or command one of his Dragonborn to do it?
To do which bit?
To go frame
Charm
someone.
The problem is it depends. Charm he probably wouldn't, because charm just makes them friendly to you. It doesn't make.
Oh yes.
And command only lasts for 1 round, so he'd start it and then 6 seconds later
it's gone.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we've got our options are basically we don't do the framing thing. We leave as Amy's probably doing this, correct. We leave Airden down here while we take the silver to the priest, and then he'll start doing that, and then we'll come back down, and in that time Airden will have kind of got a bit of the lay of the land or done the worm thing or whatever, and then we'll come back down and then help Airden get out again.
This sounds good to me.
I mean, I'll be honest, that sounds like there's a lot of killing involved in that. That doesn't appeal to me.
The only killing I think that's going to happen is Farouche. And by the sounds of it, he's a bit of a dodgy character anyway, so you could do with.
I mean,
have you ever made an omelette, Amy?
I imagine so at some point.
Okay.
Why?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. But I just, even if he seems unsavory now, that doesn't mean that he always will be. People can change. We can change people if we try hard enough and with our friends hard enough.
Well, I'll stay here and I'll try my best to change him, and I'll get to work on him while you two take the silver to Xander.
Airden, I know what you're trying to change him means. Change him into a dead worm guy.
Amy, I swear I will try to change him for what you would perceive to be the better.
I mean, it could go horribly wrong. You have to remember that.
I do worry about leaving you down here on your own.
Do you want me to stay?
To be fair, you two could stay and I could just run up with the powder and come back again.
We can stay.
Jack Hall, Airden, really.
Is it? Oh,
it's you, isn't it? It's your person that if you stay with him or not.
Out of character, I have no idea what to do. This is but in a fun way.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, we should probably do the framing thing, but I don't know if I really want to do that.
Amy doesn't want to do that.
She doesn't want to kill people. She doesn't want to frame people. She's in a bit of a tough spot here.
And in a totally I know this is bad for you, Drew, the DM, but in a total people playing D&D, I'm yeah, but the DM wants us just to go and do that. It's too simple. I want to do something different.
Full disclosure, when it seemed like you were just going to happily stay with him, that's the bit I was like, I hadn't planned for that. The choice was always going to be a choice of 3 options. It was either going to be you do the job and frame someone who's innocent of a crime, or you leave Airden with him, but then like trick him and somehow get out of that. However, you decided to do that, and the third option was to leave it, come back at night, and steal the silver from him. It was going to be a heist type thing, no matter what, because I wanted to do a heist. Like, full disclosure, I wanted the heist session.
See, my thinking is just that Airden doesn't want him to win. It's a very like childish, petty thing, but he doesn't want to just go and do what this guy said, and that's it, and that's that's the end of it. And so that's why I'm leaning towards 2 of the other ones. But
yeah, and Amy doesn't. I don't think Amy really wants to frame an innocent person.
Anakis just wants to get the job done.
You want to spend some time down here as well.
I do.
Yeah. So why don't... Alright. Then, how about we leave Airden with the guy. I take the... with the promise that you're just his forever now. So not really, but, that's what he thinks, so that I can take the silver.
Yeah.
I'll take the silver up to the priest and try and cure Xander. Anakis can either stay with you or can start going about searching out herself. She can go to find herself.
I can go find myself.
While keeping an eye, hopefully, on Farouche and Airden, if possible.
Yes, that's fine.
And then I'll come back down, maybe with Xander, if we can cure him that quickly, and try and break you out again.
I hadn't thought of that.
And maybe with Eden, even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Get that far on, yeah.
It's like, hey, so while you were gone,
yeah. We need to rescue her. Yeah? What do you think?
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. There we go. So I turn us back around to Farouche, and with like my happiest, brightest smile, I think we've come to an agreement. Yeah.
We relay what we want to do. What we want to do. We want to split up, and this is what we want to do.
Well, I don't say. I'm gonna basically say. So in exchange for the barrel of silver now, you can have Airden.
Hello.
For but please don't mistreat him. He is a person. He needs to be treated nicely.
I put my feet up and sip my cup of tea, as if I'm settling in.
I like you. Amy, was it?
Yes. My name's Amy.
Well, the 3 of you are shrewd merchants, I must say. And you made a choice. Wise, yet to be seen, but a choice nonetheless. Could each of you now please make another charisma saving throw?
Oh, fuck.
22.
14.
19.
He looks at each of you, then wordlessly just nods, glances down to the ground. Give it to them. I've got what I want. And the big red dragonborn hefts the barrel up and sort of waddles over towards the 2 of you and pushes the barrel forward slightly, as if, take it.
Can I take it? I take it.
What is your strength score?
18 plus 4.
Nice. So yes, with a great deal of effort, you will be able to lift it just off the ground.
Okay. Well, how long is that going to take me to?
Can you roll it,
Mr. Farouche? Although I am obviously able to carry this, as I am very strong, I may need some a hand getting it just up to the surface. Would one of your men be able to assist me? My other friend, has some other business down here, so she'll be staying down here.
Yes. He looks over and he sees the blue dragonborn come back with a cloth on his hands, and he gives a quick nod to Farouche. He goes, So you want one of my men to accompany you to the surface?
Yes, please. Not for it, just to get it up to the top, and then that's fine.
What's Airden's strength score?
Oh, it's not good. Sorry. Just a second. Well, I add 0. It's 10, so I add 0 onto it.
Yeah. Okay. Airden. Since you are now mine, you are one of my men. Accompany them up to the surface with the barrel, and then return straight away.
Oh, okay. Sure. Finish my tea.
I look at the dragonborn and then back to the guy and say, I was hoping to get to know your dragonborn friend a little more.
You
I've
are
just realised what's happening.
You are free to return here at any time. There are a great many businesses, a thriving community. The nightlife is certainly something to behold. I welcome you to come back and get to know my men any time.
Okay. I will.
Wonderful. Airden, I shall see you soon.
Come on. But, I will say, I've seen Ed try to carry things. I don't know how much help he'll be.
It's less about strength. If he had a negative strength, then that would certainly be an issue. But no, just more the distribution of the weight. By having Airden help you carry it, it's fine.
Can I hold out a hand to shake hands with Farouche and say it's been an absolute pleasure.
Human. Yes. It has been an experience. And he simply nods, ignoring your handshake.
Come on, Airden.
I think Airden, his face has gone white. He's kind of having second thoughts. Because Amy, I think I may have made a mistake.
Let's talk about it when we're on our way, okay?
He just nods.
Anakis, are you happy to go off and do your business now?
Aye.
Okay,
that's fine.
I'll meet you, or I'll come and find you down here. But if I can't, I'll meet you under what is the central bit upstairs down here. Yeah,
that's fine. Aye.
All right.
Bye. Stay safe. Don't get into trouble.
You too. See you soon.
Bye.
So,
Bye.
Amy and Airden will be carting this barrel up to the surface, getting it to Brother Canto, and making the holy water, which will take an hour, and then it's a 1-minute ritual to perform the magic circle. So, if we accept that Amy and Airden are travelling along that way and getting that done, what we'll do is we'll deal with Anakis initially. we'll skip to Amy and Airden and any conversation that they may have on the way and while things are going on, and then back to Anakis, so no one's sort of left.
Is Airden allowed to go the whole way and wait with me for an hour or no?
Yeah, I want to see what happens. I have a sneaking suspicion that...
Okay, you're just going to try and see, okay?
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Cool.
So, Anakis.
Mm-hmm.
You have an entire city underneath a city to explore.
Right. Here we go. Right, I'm looking for specifically tieflings of my colourings. So maybe, yes, quite bright, maybe purples, pinks. Well, anyone really. Any tieflings.
Right. In that case, give me a...
In fact, let me ask Farouche.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to ask him. So, Farouche, I'm not like the people from up there. I'm of a folk from down here, really, and all my life I've never felt like I've quite fit in at home, and it's been quite difficult. And yes, no one at home quite looks like me. I'm a bit of an odd one out, and I was hoping maybe I'd get some, by the looks of it, some answers from down here. Someone might be able to point me in the right direction of, I don't know, just some answers really as to why I might not look like the people from home.
Indeed. Well, people down here are seeking peace and respite from the world above. They're free to come and go, but they're not truly free. Down here they are. Bringing things like that up may be sore for them. I wouldn't recommend barging about. So it's wise of you to come to me and seek advice and guidance. As for anyone that would be able to help you specifically, I do have a recommendation. I shall make a note of some directions for you, and you can go on your own. I think that will be best. If they see you with an entourage, they may not wish to speak freely. But I am more than happy to help you out here, Anakis. Finding one's place in life is important. I know that I struggled for centuries to find mine, but Untrathar is a welcoming place. You will find friends here.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. He calls over for some people to bring him some parchment. He quickly scribbles down some directions and hands them off to you, and wishes you a good journey.
Thank you. I'll try come back and tell you what happened.
Oh, I do.
And if I get my answers.
Stories. Yes, please do. I am eager to hear what happens.
Right.
I hate this guy so much.
I love him, he's great. Amy, Airden, while you guys are walking with a big heavy barrel, chat about anything?
What's up, Airden? You look a little ill right there.
Well, I don't know. His confidence gives me pause. We have a bond. You'll help make sure that I get out of here, right?
I stop and put the barrel down and turn to face you and just say, Airden, of course, always. I protect my friends with my life. The plan was always to come back and get you. I just didn't want to do the framing thing, and you seemed up for this. So, always, we're best friends, right? That's what best friends do.
Yes, thank you.
pick up the barrel, go back to walking.
Just deep in thought.
Right.
Quietly up to the top, I guess.
You get up to the top. You can feel the cool breeze of the evening air as it begins to descend. It's getting dark out, but you can see that twilight seems to last long in this city. A lot of the buildings are highly reflective of the lights that are being lit about the place. And you see that the way that you've come up, as you were directed by Farouche, brings you up out of the wall that the guard pointed you at. So you are, in fact, in the central district, right near to where you need to be.
Convenient.
I'm fine. I can just keep going.
As you exit, you feel a slight trepidation, it seems, but nothing happens. You don't get struck by lightning.
Okay.
Wait, keep going to the temple?
I think Airden's walking like he's expecting to be struck by lightning.
The two of you are getting dirty looks from passers-by. One woman wanders by Airden, tuts and raises her head, and you can hear her say in Elven, "Imagine walking about dressed like that of an evening." But yes, you get to the temple. Brother Kanto is there, running his hands over different parts of Xander, grabbing his arm, then reaching over and grabbing a leg. You see that parts of Xander are trembling at various points, and he's trying to stabilize him. Oh, thank goodness you've returned. He's becoming more unstable.
Well, thank you for staying with him and for working with him. We have the silver.
Ah, wonderful. How did you manage to obtain so much so soon?
We
Great cost.
went to Farouche. Do you know? Yeah, Farouche, the silver man.
Yes, I'm aware of Farouche. He's a man of great standing, I understand.
Yeah, we made a bit of. Well, we made some deals, but we got the silver.
Ah, lucky you. I know that anyone that does business with Farouche, they usually end up very happy in the end. Oh, congratulations. Let's get to work.
Yes, let's. Airden, are you staying?
Sure. Let's see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll help with whatever he needs me to help him with.
All right. Daniel, I now need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh dear.
Yep. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's a crit one.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't even need to check what I had on to that.
Okay.
Unless you want me to, but I don't know.
Right. Can I just ask? What's Airden's hit points?
Something like 30.
Okay.
32.
Good. As you stand watching this ritual take place, you feel a twinge, a pull back towards Untrathar and towards Farouche. And as you feel this pull, it's as though to not do so terrifies you. You get struck with such a deep anxiety. You take 25 psychic damage.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
Okay.
Better go home, Airden. Go home.
Yeah, it's like, okay, Amy, I have to. I think I'll go see how Anakis is doing.
Okay.
I'll go back down.
I'll come back and find you in like an hour and a bit.
Yeah, an hour, maybe sooner. But whatever. No, it's fine. It's fine. And
Just
I'll-
walk slowly.
Yeah, I'll kind of. Yeah, I'm not walking slowly.
Running across the...
Right, as Airden takes off, Amy watches as Brother Canto continues with his ritual, stirring this massive cauldron that he's pulled out of a storage cupboard, mixing this silver powder into the water, and having a small fire underneath it. There's water bubbling around. He's yelling some strange and ancient incantation, which you recognize from your days in the monastery. He's making a lot of holy water all at once, and you've never seen someone make this much. But as he's stirring it around, he's throwing the occasional herb over the pot as well, which is releasing more of this sort of strong cinnamon smell into the air. Anakis, you find yourself in a street, standing in front of a door. The door is made of ramshackle bits of wood, hastily nailed together, but it's covering the doorway. There are groups of people standing around, usually in little clusters, little gangs on the street. There are children running back and forth, chasing a small leather ball, and there are quite a few pets kept around. Dogs on chains, cats free to roam about the place, and moles seem to be a frequent occurrence, just scuttling around like a cross between the common street rat or cat.
Are you okay? I find one of the dogs and I pet it and I ask if it's all right. I cast talk with animals.
When you approach it and talk to it, it lets you know. Okay. Lonely. People don't talk.
And what about everybody else? What about all your friends?
I do have lots of friends. Lots of friends in other streets. Friend! Friend! I'm talking to someone! Friend! You hear some barking in the distance. Going,
Yay!
what are they like?
I'm gonna cry!
Are they cool? There's a quick barking conversation between the dogs. And then it sort of nuzzles its nose into you and lets you know that the people that live here, they're nice. But they tend to only feed the dog maybe about 3 or 4 times a day. He's starving. You notice that the dog is a little plump.
Well, I think you've probably had enough. I don't think you need quite that much. But as long as they treat you nicely.
Oh,
they treat you nicely?
They do. They do.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah. That's what I like to hear. And what are they called? Who lives here?
I just call them Tallies.
Tallies.
I don't understand what they say. They say things to me, and I don't understand. It's just nonsense. I understand you though.
And oh, good. I'm glad. Do they look like me?
A lot of Tallies look like you.
Okay. And do they have any small Tallies?
Yes.
How many?
There are 5 in this house. There are 3 in the ones next door, and across the street. Across the street, there's 5 in that one too. But one of them not very nice.
Oh, why not?
Always tries to steal my food. I'm absolutely sure of it. He's never managed it once yet, but I'm absolutely sure
Oh.
he's coming close. And then I growl at him, and I go, "Go away," and he goes away.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Right. Well, I think I'm going to knock on this door. Okay.
Okay,
All right. I'll come and talk to you afterwards. All right.
that sounds amazing.
Okay.
And he sits and stares at you.
I knock on the door.
And the door opens. Standing there, bold as brass, a fairly large woman. She's got bright purple skin, large horns that are sticking up like an ibex. Is it ibex or ibex? I don't know. One of those weird like antelope things. Anyway,
Yeah.
large antelope horns sticking out of her head. Long hair. She's holding a baby in the crook of her arm. She looks at you for a moment, and then her eyes widen, and she quickly slams the door shut. You hear a shout in a tongue. Which languages do you speak again, Anakis?
Druidic, Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
You recognise this as Infernal. And she shouts, "Another one's come! Quick, get the family out the back!" And we're going to end the session there.
No! Oh no! Okay. Oh shit.
It's Anakis' backstory that always gets the cliffhangers.
God's sake! No! What's the dog called? Did the dog have a name?
The dog doesn't have a name that it understands from the people, but it calls itself Ruffan.
I'm going to put dog Ruffan. Okay, cool. All right.
Nice
2
one.
weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. It's been a blast, but we're all going to need to go, recharge, digest what's just happened, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time and find out what's happening with Anakis. What's going on? Is this anything to do with her or something else entirely? Is Amy going to be able to help Xander and Cheniel split apart? And Airden, what's going on with Airden?
How fucked is it?
So thank you very much for joining us live. And if you catch this on YouTube, thanks for joining us. Next time we will have another giveaway organised for you guys, so keep an eye out for that as well. As usual, subscribe to our social media stuff, and we'll keep you up to date on changes that are happening, any updates and that sort of thing. We did a cool thing a little while ago on the Crit It and Hit It Instagram where Amy took over the account. So things like that will be happening now and then. So yeah, just keep an eye out. Fun stuff happens. And we'll see you next time.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
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 And we go.